Hello everyone, my name is Oktay Alge, and today I'm going to talk about how to write a formal email. And in specific, I'm going to talk about how should you write your opening lines, how should you write a formal email, and at the very end, I'm going to talk about how should you write your closing lines. And after that, I'm going to ask you 5 questions, which will be easy if you follow my presentation right. So, starting with the opening lines, there are, tons of ways to open a formal email. There are so many opening lines, but this opening line here, dear Tom, I'm writing to ask you about yesterday's meeting. This is a very commonly used and a very formal way of opening an email, I can say. So I am writing to ask you about yesterday's meeting is one of the things you can use in order to start your email. So just like I'm writing to you, you can also use I'm writing regarding this. I'm writing regarding the sales report. I'm writing regarding what you wrote to me. You can also use I'm writing regarding this and that. So you can also say, Dear Tom, I'm writing regarding yesterday's meeting. You can also say that. It can also be used. It's also formal. So, but if you would like to, sound a bit more neutral to the person you're writing to, instead of regarding, you can use about. So, like in this example, you can say, Dear Tom, I'm writing about yesterday's meeting. It might sound more neutral. It might sound less professional to some people, but as you can see, it's neutral, so you can use it. But if you want to be truly formal, you should use regarding instead of about. So, continuing with the opening lines, one rule that if one rule that that can make you more formal is that you should not use your full name whenever you're opening your email, whenever you're starting your mail. So you should not use your full name, like the example here. You shouldn't say, Dear Tom, my name is Opayaji, and I'm writing to you about yesterday's meeting, right? You should not use your full name. It sounds unprofessional. You can use it in an informal way of writing. It's totally okay in that way. But whenever you're writing a formal email, you should not use your full name. You should always use your full name at the end of your email, like here, best regards, Oktay. You should use that. You should use it like that. But instead of your name, you can use your title or you can use your position. In this way, you can sound more professional and more formal. So you can use, Dear Tom, I'm the new head of the marketing and I'm writing about yesterday's meeting. You can use your title, you can use your position like that. It can, make you sound more and more professional and formal like this way. So, continuing with the opening lines again, if you want to, be more formal, like using regarding or I'm writing to you and all that, is what makes you more formal. But if you want to be formal, you should avoid such lines as like I wanted to. You know, you would use I wanted to in a normal face-to-face conversation or in an informal letter or informal email. So avoiding such words or such sentences like I wanted to ask you about yesterday's meeting, they can make you seem less professional and they can make you seem more informal. So you should always, avoid using such sentences like I wanted to if you want to, truly sound formal and professional. So how should you write your emails is another thing. If you want to sound more and more formal and more professional, you should like never mix up formal writing and informal writing in the same email, because it would just make you, less professional than you wanted to. So this example here uh, is a great way of showing us how you should not mix these two. So, dear Tom, I'm writing regarding yesterday's meeting. So up until here, it's formal. You need to tell me what happened yesterday, please. I'm begging you. So after that, it just goes completely informal, and it just, I think, kills the professionality here. So, I mean, what's happening here, that the word usage is not appropriate to a, formal email, and, the writing style is also informal. For example, in the formal part of it, I am writing regarding yesterday's meeting. So in the formal uh, in the formal part, you are always dividing your words. You're not saying I'm, you are saying I am. So you can see this happening in the informal part. It says, please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Not I am, but I'm. Whenever you're writing anything formal, it should not be, it can be something else other than emails. You should always, divide your words. You should always use I am. You should always use, should not, must not. You shouldn't use shouldn't or mustn't or haven't or hasn't. You should always divide your words. And at the very end, it goes to formal again. It goes, I look forward to hearing from you. So it just looks unprofessional, and it just looks, informal whenever you're mixing these two. So what should happen here is that formal should formal and informal should follow informal. So it should be like this email. Dear Tom, I'm writing to ask you about yesterday's meeting. Completely formal here. You must have noticed that I was absent. Would you kindly inform me about what has transpired in yesterday's meeting? I look forward to hearing from you. Best regards, Octave. So this whole email is just, completely formal. The, selection of words are formal. They are nothing like informal type of word selections. So a full-on formal, a full-on formal email should be like this: completely formal, completely polite, and friendly. So there will be sometimes you need to write your responses, and whilst you're, writing your responses, you should open up with lines such as, I'm writing in response. I'm writing in response to your email, or I'm writing in response to your, request, or I'm writing regarding your request. You should use such lines like this whenever you're writing a reply to some person. You should always be polite. You should always be friendly. You should divide your words, and you should, be respectful. So, continuing with the closing lines, your closing lines, as I've stated before, should be friendly, should be respectful, and should be completely formal. So how do you do that is you open up a new paragraph for your closing line. It should be separate from the, from the other paragraphs. It should have its own paragraph. So as you can see here, I look forward to hearing from you. The formal way of saying like goodbye, and you should end it with best regards or sincerely or best wishes. Best wishes might seem a bit more unprofessional, so you might want to, avoid that. Or it might seem a bit neutral, but best wishes and sincerely are the ones you can use. So your closing lines should be friendly, and they should be written in their own paragraph. You can also use, such phrases like, again, thank you for your help, or again, thank you in advance for your help, or again, congratulations about your award. You can use again, or the example that we have used the previous slide. So this is all. So we are continuing with the questions themselves. They should be, relatively simple if you follow, closely. So starting with the first question, can this opening line be considered as a formal opening line? I wanted to write you about the latest sale. So is it formal or is it not? It's not formal because it uses I wanted to. As I've stated before, I wanted to is a line that we should avoid because it sounds less formal and less professional. So I wanted to write you about is less formal. So continuing with the next question, which one of these opening lines should you pick in order to write a formal email? My name is Oktay Avcı and I want to write about the latest sale, or I'm the head of the marketing and I'm writing regarding the latest sale. So which one of these is the formal option here? Yes, it's the B, because you should never use your full name whenever you're writing an opening line. You should, you should use your title. If you have one, you should use your title or your position. If you want to use it, you are not required to write it, but you are not supposed to write your full name. So B is the correct option here. So continuing with the third question, which one of these closing sentences should you use to write a formal email? A, I look forward to hearing from you, or B, I can't wait to catch up with you. As you can see, A is the correct option. I look forward to hearing from you. It sounds more professional, it sounds more formal, but B doesn't sound professional. It sounds something like you would say to a friend, not a business partner or an acquaintance. So A is the obvious option here. So continuing with the next question, which one of these opening lines can be considered as neutral? A, I'm writing regarding my order, or B, I'm writing about my order. So as you can guess, it's B, I'm writing about my order. About is what makes this line neutral here. So if you want to be more formal and more professional like, you should use regarding, but you can also use about, but you would sound less professional, sorry. But it will not be less formal, but it would sound more, like less professional. So continuing with the last question, if I'm correct, which one of these options are completely formal? So option A is I'm writing to you regarding yesterday's meeting. I sincerely hope you can describe the events that have transpired during that time. Or B, I'm writing to you about yesterday's meeting. I absolutely need to know what happened. Can you please tell me about it? And as you can guess, A is the completely formal one here. B sounds less professional, less formal. The usage of please tell me about it and all that. Absolutely and all that. These are the things that you would say to your friend, or these are the things you would say, face to face and to your friends. So A seems the most formal here, and the answer is A here. So this is all. Thank you for watching my presentation. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I can see you in the next presentation. So see you later. Until then.